How's it going, everybody? It's Robin here. Welcome to Oracle Rising, guys. This is my channel where I'm hopefully helping you on your spiritual path. Maybe at least just having some fun and learning some new stuff. But anyway, today I'm going to talk about Darkworkers because I think this is a really fascinating subject. I think most of us here are Lightworkers. You know, we are empaths. You know, there could be some indigo children out there, star seeds, you know, just really working together to raise the vibration of ourselves and humanity and the planet. So of course there's always a counterbalance to everything that happens in life. So a dark worker, you kind of want to think of it as a dark worker being the introvert and the light worker being the extrovert, because the light worker is like shining outwards and, you know, just being positive for the masses and helping other people and networking and just being, you know, that type of source of light. Okay, so a dark worker, they focus on themselves, and because it says dark worker, there could be some sort of a sense that this is a negative path to follow. However, it's not. There is something quite fascinating in the path of a dark worker where they recognize that there is the God-like entity within them. Okay, so this could be very difficult for some people to wrap their heads around. Okay, but I read this book a little while ago after I saw Dr. Wayne Dwyer talk about it, called 3 Magic Words. Okay, so actually the end of the book, the last 3 words, which are the magic words, are, it says, I am God. So a dark worker really focuses on the fact that they are the divine spark of God. Okay, so a light worker can recognize that, but they try to spread that out to other people, whereas a dark worker focuses all this energy in on themselves. So I mean, it could come across, if you're not familiar with this, and people actually having the right to choose their own path and everybody having a soul contract, it could seem like incredibly selfish, but it is not, because this is their journey here on earth to do that. And they can actually be very, very successful people, you know, especially when you think about there are so many people that deplete themselves as light workers, you know, because you're constantly emanating outwards, and there's almost a push to feel obligated to do that, you know, as if you're not like rising and shining and being, you know, on top of the world for everybody else. You know, you feel like, oh, I need to try again. I need to try harder, you know, whereas a dark worker doesn't necessarily feel that sense of obligation to the rest of humanity and the planet. And I'm kind of awestruck by that. And when you think of people that really shine their light inward to take care of themselves, to make sure they succeed, to make sure that their energy is recharged, to make sure they're the most successful, you know, as if they're doing it right and in a positive way, then everybody around them succeeds. Okay, there's that phrase, you know, that you can't pour from an empty cup. Well, a dark worker always makes sure that their cup is full. Hey, I'm taken care of. You know, I am I'm talking in the third person, I guess, you know, people that they're just constantly on top of the world because they come first in their life. And that doesn't always necessarily happen for light workers because they are so connected on a different wavelength. So I found this super, super, super fascinating, that dark workers are dedicated to the service of self. And I was thinking, like, maybe as light workers, that might be a really important thing for you guys to sort of blend, and myself too, right? To blend into your life. Is there some way that you can evolve a service to the rest of the world, you know, and combine it with taking care of yourself first? Because I know a lot of people really feel guilty for standing their ground, for, you know, taking time off, for not being accessible as a light worker, but I mean, being dedicated to yourself is actually really important. So, and this could possibly evolve for you at some point in your life. I think this would be a really good balance, and I'm suggesting that for light workers, to dedicate a certain portion of your life to being in service to you, okay? Because the stronger that you are as an individual, you know, and recognizing that the universal power and the God light comes from within you, it's not an external source. Like, how much more powerful could you be as that sort of extroverted light worker? Okay, so I did a ton of research on dark workers. I just read so much glowing stuff about it. Of course, there are levels, you know, and people can really start to slide down a ladder just the way that light workers can ascend. Dark workers can descend, okay, because they're a little bit more okay with processing negative emotion and trauma, okay? So they could really adapt in a significantly kind of horrifying way where they can maybe tend to go towards sociopathy. They could be gaslighters. So this could happen to anybody, but when people really dedicate everything to themselves, it can take a bad turn if they're not very careful, you know, if they start to sort of believe their own press in their head, you know what I mean? Where it's just everything is about them. And for people that can attain a certain amount of wealth and fame, that can really lead them down a path of no return, okay? So we've seen people, and these are probably even either reptilians or dark workers, you know, they're trying for a world domination, you know what I mean? So I find the dark worker subject incredibly deep. So if you're like on my channel and you feel like you've got something special about you, but you don't quite fit into the light worker thing that I've been talking about, one sec, guys. Like maybe you are a dark worker and there's nothing wrong with that. And I think as people, we can be really led to believe that it's not cool to be, you know, so self-centered and focusing on yourself. But what if this is your path, your soul contract? So, I mean, this is where you need to make decisions in your own life. Like, you've decided to become a light worker. You answered the call. If you are a dark worker and you're answering the call, this is your journey. Just remember that not to take it too far, whatever side of the spectrum that you're on. And I think it's really important to try to bring that balance together, you know, either maybe develop some dark working tendencies where really focusing inward and externalizing, or find somebody that is a dark worker that can really balance you off. So I don't really particularly know any dark workers in person. I know plenty of light workers. So let me know if this resonated for you guys. If there's anything else you want to talk about, whether it is dark working or light working, let me know down below in the comments, or you can send me an email. My email address is below in the description box. I'm happy to research and provide education or enlightenment on anything. So guys, I'm going to wrap it up. I hope that was interesting. I found it fascinating, but hey, I'm going to go. Take care. Bye.